Hi everyone. I've been reading Janice Kim's Learn to Play Go series, Volume 4, and I came across an interesting chapter on capturing races. So I thought I would share with you some of the things I learned from reading that chapter. First, let's give an example of a capturing race. This is maybe to give a little motivation to it. This is a game I played, and let's see, we'll go forward to a critical point here. Yeah, this is the point. If we pause here, I have the black pieces, and my opponent has just jumped in with this stone at h5, trying to invade my territory. If you look at the amount of territory that each side has, white doesn't have a lot of space. This is sort of no man's land in between a white wall and a black wall, so it's not really anybody's territory. I have a little bit in this corner. He maybe has a few points here. I have a few points here. And he has a decent sized corner over here. But my corner plus this area here is larger than anything that he's got. So I'm winning this game if I can hold on to this territory. And so he's trying to take it away from me by invading at h6. And now I just try and cut this stone off. He might have done better by cutting rather than just extending there, but that's not the focus of this point. The focus of this is now I'm trying to cut off these stones and make sure that I maintain control of this area. So I'm hoping to capture those stones. I don't expect them to live, and he's trying to make some eyes, and I have to make sure I have enough liberties or space to make eyes that I don't get killed myself. But I don't think he has enough room to make two eyes here, so I think I should be able to capture those stones and win this game. And he starts playing in a very interesting way. He counterattacks on the other side after putting a few stones in here. I mean, these stones maybe are dead in principle because I can't make two eyes. But, well, I still have to round him up. It would take quite a few moves. In the meantime, he can maybe attack from the other side. So pretty interesting play from white here. Let's keep going forward. I block. He blocks, and right here is when I started to realize we have something like a capturing race, and I played that move that you saw, L2. So let's think about this position. What is the capturing race here? This is a group of stones that has 3 liberties, and this is a group of stones that has 3 liberties. 1, 2, 3. So those are actually the 2 weakest groups. The other groups here have more liberties and aren't under attack. So the capturing race is between these 3 stones and these 2, and it's my turn to move, and so I should win this capturing race. This is a simple capturing race, actually. There's only one kind of liberty. We'll talk about different kinds of liberties as coming up, but this is a simple capturing race, so you can just count the liberties. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I should win this capturing race. So, but it's my move. I only win it because it's my move, and I have to play that move to keep this advantage. If I played somewhere else, then white could start the capturing race, and white would win. So I play this move, and white blocks here once. But this doesn't change the situation that he went up from 2 liberties to 3, but it's still my turn, and I block once again, and he's down to 2 liberties again. So he tried that, and then realizing that he was going to lose this capturing race, he plays away and breaks through. And now this is the very important point that you have to recognize. I'm 1 jump ahead. I've reduced his liberties to 2, and I still have 3 liberties. So that means I don't have to play another stone in the capturing race, and I'm free to block this stone from connecting to the other side and also putting it in Atari, so he can't, for example, cut and try to turn into a capturing race against these stones, because when I capture his stone, I'll give these guys an extra liberty. So it's important for me to recognize that I don't just keep blindly playing this capturing race, but I have the ability to play away at this point. So he connects, and now I connect, so he can't cut. And then he returns to the capturing race. He plays here. And this is an important idea, too, that the white, even though white is behind in the capturing race, when he plays a move, that's a sente move. That's a forcing move. So he can get that move for free in a way because I have to respond. Now it's 2 versus 2, and I have to take away one of those liberties if I want to stay ahead in the capturing race. And so those are the points I wanted to illustrate. The first is that if you can count out the capturing race, it's a useful tool because you can know exactly when to play away and when you have to play away and when you don't. Let's see, I actually played the other one. Okay. And you want to be able to play away rather than continuing a capturing race. If you've won a capturing race, you don't want to waste any more stones. Actually, you don't want to waste any moves actually capturing those stones. You want to play your moves at the most effective place on the board. And if you're losing in a capturing race, you often don't want to continue it, but you want to leave it. If you're losing by just one move, you want to leave it on the board like that, and you can use that as a threat later. For example, if you need a co-threat, continuing a capturing race that you're behind by only one move is a very good co-threat because you're threatening to win that capturing race. And or it may be that just you need the tempo, you need that extra stone over there. You're going to lose the capturing race, but that extra stone will help you in some other way. So anyway, I won that capturing race, and I went on to win the game. He actually resigned at this point because his stones are dead and he has no more weaknesses to attack. So that was the example I wanted to show you. And now let's go to some different types of liberties. So this is, oh no, there's one other point I wanted to illustrate first. So when you're playing a game, there's kind of two skills to dealing with capturing races. The first is recognizing that you're in a capturing race. So in that previous game, I had to notice that it was turning into a capturing race and respond appropriately. And the second thing is you have to make sure that it really is a capturing race. So this is something that is not really a capturing race, and I'll show why. It looks like, let's see, it's black's turn to move. Black has 4 liberties in this group, and white has 4 liberties in this group. And so you might think this is a capturing race. And so black just starts taking away liberties by playing here. But in fact, if white says, yes, I agree, it's a capturing race, and just starts playing out the race, black wins. So we already counted that out. But there's another idea here, which is that white can try and escape. And this is why it's not really a capturing race. This is an effective move. If your opponent, if you're in a capturing race and your opponent has a move that gives it some more liberties, gives him or her more liberties, then it's not really a capturing race. You really have to take into account any moves that he has that might add to his liberties. You saw in the previous example, my opponent did extend once, but it only added 1 liberty and I was able to take it away. This extension actually adds 2 liberties. So if black just continues, white extends once more, and now black is suddenly behind in the capturing race. Black has 4 liberties over here, and white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liberties. And even though it's black's turn, white is going to win that capturing race. There's more complicated variations. Black could try and block like this. White can surround that stone. Black cuts. White can win these stones and escape to the outside. So white can escape that way. And there's one more variation I wanted to show you just because I thought it was interesting. If white blocks and black blocks, white plays a stone. Instead of cutting like we looked at, black could extend here, and this might turn into some kind of a ladder after white connects, and this is not going to work out well for black. The problem is that white still has 2 liberties as well as the ladder. So if black relentlessly tries to capture those stones in a ladder or in a net, black could even try and capture in a net. Once he's got them completely surrounded and he's ready to turn back to the capturing race, just going to round up these stones, all these weaknesses created by the ladder come back to cause trouble for black. So white just escapes by capturing some stones on the outside, and black is 1 step short of capturing the whole group. So he doesn't get there in time. So that's the first lesson. look for these capturing races. Make sure they're capturing races. Make sure your opponent's don't have a way to escape, and then count the liberties and see who's ahead. Now, what the rest of this is going to be about is there are different kinds of liberties, and this affects the way you count it. And so this example shows the difference between an inside liberty and an outside liberty. Let's get up to the point where I want to start. Yeah. Okay, so this is a capturing race. It's white's turn to move. And there are two kinds of liberties in this capturing race. Black has two outside liberties and one inside liberty. White has two outside liberties over here and one inside liberty. So the inside liberty is the liberty that is a liberty that is shared between the two groups involved in a capturing race. So if there's any common liberty, that's called an inside liberty, and the other liberties are all outside liberties. So the simplest capturing race, which I was showing in the first example, is one where all the liberties are just outside liberties, and so it's simply a matter of counting liberties. But when there's inside liberties, there's other issues involved, other things to consider. And the first point is you always need to play the outside liberties first. So white is still going to win this with correct play. So white should play there on the outside. Black can block, but white can stop that from running away. Black can cut, but white captures the whole group. So that's not going to work. And let's see, if black, instead of extending, just continues the race, then black completely surrounds white, white completely surrounds black, but it's white's turn to move, and then white plays the inside liberty and captures the whole group. So why don't you play that inside liberty first? Let's show that example next. If white plays on the inside, well, now it's a simple capturing race with nothing but external or outside liberties. But it's black's turn to move, and the number of outside liberties is the same. So by taking away that shared liberty, you haven't gained any extra liberties for yourself, and you've handed the move to your opponent. All you've done is destroy the common liberty and given the move to your opponent, which gives him a step up in the capturing race, and so now he's going to win it. So that's the key rule. When you have outside liberties and inside liberties, you have to remember to play the outside liberties first and the inside liberty at the end, and then you can win that when there's only one inside liberty. That's still a pretty simple case. So now the next case we want to consider is something called an approach liberty, and this often happens in combination with an inside liberty. So this is the situation we're talking about here. White is starting to capture these stones, and black it wants to capture these stones, and it's black's turn to move, and it looks like black should win because it's black's turn to move. There's 3 outside liberties and 1 inside. And same for black. Black has 3 outside liberties and 1 inside. So by having the first move, black can play here and take those stones. White continues, black continues, white continues, black plays here. This is the approach liberty. And you can see it's a problem because white doesn't have to just continue with the race at this point. White can capture that stone, and so that's why it's an approach liberty. Black has to go back and try and recapture and get or induce white to fill in some way. But now white is a step ahead in the race. White takes the last outside liberty, and then after black captures that stone, white gets the whole group. So was there anything else that black could have tried here? After white captures, if black fills in here, then white just captures black's group. So there's really nothing, and playing there is not legal. So there's really nothing that black can do. Black is actually just losing this race. So If you recognize that it's a group, it's a capturing race where there is one inside liberty and there's something like this that's an approach liberty, a stone that can be captured, then you actually need one extra move. So black has to play 1, 2, 3, 4 moves, and white just has to play 3 moves. So black is losing this capturing race, and there's really nothing he can do about it. The important point is you have to count this, so you should know this ahead of time before going into this race that you're going to lose because of that approach liberty. There's also a case. This is a case where we had an approach liberty in combination with an inside liberty. There's also a case, which is kind of rare, so I didn't give an example of it. But if a white group that you're trying to capture has, there are no inside liberties, everything is outside, but there are 2 approach liberties, then it really is going to take one extra move, because you're going to have to take 2 moves to fill in that first approach liberty, and then the second one can be filled in a single move. So to show that, let's see, if, for example, white were to fill in here so that it turns into a simple race. Oh, let's say I have to waste a move for black here. Now it's white's turn. So this is an example where there's 2 external liberties. It doesn't matter that this is an approach liberty in this case. Black goes here, white goes here, and black can just take it. It's only the approach liberty in combination with either an internal liberty or if this group has an eye, or if there's 2 approach liberties, then you have to take an extra move to fill in that approach liberty. Okay, and then the last example I wanted to talk about in this video is the case where there's 2 inside liberties, 2 or more. Although the example I showed just has 2 inside liberties. And this introduces another wrinkle. So anyway, I put these little stones on the outside here just to make sure there's no way for these stones to escape. So it's a pure capturing race. It's black's turn to move, and black has 3 outside liberties, 2 inside. White has 3 outside liberties and 2 inside. So black has the advantage here and can start taking away the outside liberties, but it's not going to result in a win. So let's just play it out. And at this point, the outside liberties have all disappeared, and we're left with just the 2 inside liberties. And you might recognize this situation. This is actually a seki. This is mutual life. Black cannot kill that group, and white cannot kill the black group either. Both groups are going to live, because if black plays in here, white will capture, and if white plays in here, then black will capture. So if there's 2 or more inside liberties, you have to watch out for this possibility of a mutual life. And let's give an exact rule here. Let's give white or black an extra move. Black can now win this. So what is the rule? How can you win? Well, first of all, let's watch the win. So I just took away 1 move from white by playing a stone out here. So black has an extra move. So he fills in. So if we count after black has played this move, black has 3 external liberties, and white has 3 outside liberties. White has 1 outside liberty and 2 inside. So this is the rule. If you have enough outside liberties after you've played, if you have enough outside liberties to account for every liberty of your opponent, both the inside and the outside. So if your number of outside liberties is greater than or equal to the total liberties of your opponent, then you can win. And here, it's not greater. At this point, let's see, black has 3 outside liberties. White has 2 outside plus 2 inside, so 4 total. So it's not until, so you have to look at the position after black is moved to apply the rule. But now the rule applies that black's 3 outside liberties are greater than or equal to a white's total of 3 liberties. So let's step forward and see why this works. That's white's turn. So white starts taking away liberties. Black takes away the final liberty. White starts to take away the last of the external liberties. But now it's safe for black to play inside, and that's why you needed that extra liberty there. It's white's turn to move. White can't play here. That is not a legal move. It places this group. This group would be self-capturing, I guess. White can play here, but white is 1 move too late, and black will capture the whole group like that. So if you can remember that, if at any time during the capturing race, you can think of it as, well, there's a side that's ahead. So looking at it from the point of view of the side that's ahead, if at any time that side reaches a situation where his external liberties are greater than or equal to the total of the outside plus the inside liberties of the other side, then you can win. So the side with the more external, with the side with the more outside liberties can win if it's got enough of them. Okay, well, I think that's it for this discussion. This is actually just the first part of the discussion of capturing races. In the second part, I'm going to talk about capturing races where one of the groups has an eye. And so anyway, stay tuned for that, and I will see you then.